Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Brent Mukai, and I'm here with YellowPaco.
Hello.
We just finished up doing the first episode of a podcast idea that dude, you just came in and we're like, let's fucking do a podcast.
Let's try it.
Let's try it out. It was called the Half Thought Out Podcast, where we basically just threw out a half thought out idea and then kind of fleshed it out. Mm-hmm. How do you feel like it went?
I feel like it went well. We're going to learn to be funnier, though. We got to learn to be funnier during it.
Yeah. I feel like with podcasts, though, that's the benefit, is that you don't have to be funny the whole time.
That's true.
I liked the idea of... I feel like... And correct me if I'm wrong, because you're more the social media guy than me, but I feel like...
You're wrong.
Okay, good. Now we know. No, I feel like with YouTube and with like Instagram, you have such a short amount of time to do stuff, and the attention is so short.
That's true.
That you need to just boom, 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 laugh, 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 motherfucker. But it's like in a podcast, it has
that's true.
More time, right?
Yeah. It can breathe. You can let it breathe,
and you can go into like more depth and stuff that you normally couldn't in like a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Like, what are some of the podcasts you're listening to now?
The Handsome Rambler.
Okay.
Fitz Dog Radio. You Made It Weird. Just comedians, basically.
Comedians. And you'd think that with comedians it would be like all funny all the time, but my favorite part of it is like that it's not funny all the time.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. Because
Yeah.
they're adding like, it's not just, I'm going to say stuff to make you laugh. It's like, no, these are my actual thoughts now.
Yeah, it's like we're getting an idea of who these people are.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but there's some podcasts that I'm sure are like super funny all the time.
No, that's a good point though. You had good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that's my favorite part of the podcast is that I feel like I start to get to know people.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not what you want?
Yeah, I like that too.
Oh, okay,
like
cool.
Too, yeah.
You Made It Weird is the only one that I've heard of. I fucking love that podcast. But what's the Handsome Rambler?
That's by Hannibal Buress.
Oh, I love him. I bet that would be awesome. So what does he do? Does he just talk to comedians and stuff?
He didn't want it to be based off of that, but then it ended up he just talks to like a guest every time.
Mm-hmm.
And they his co-host DJ Tony Trim.
Mm-hmm.
They like have it's gotten to the point now where they just have like these weird ass instruments on the table as they're interviewing, and sometimes they'll just play music, and they have a microphone that can auto-tune. So like Hannibal just do weird ass songs out of nowhere, but they'll just make beats and rap, or it's super like ADHD radio.
Yeah.
And it's pretty fun.
Okay. So here's a question that I've been wondering for a while.
Yes,
I think we've all been wondering that. No, it feels like, dude. I mean, you're working with Ryan Higa. I mean, you have a very successful YouTube channel. You have a very successful Twitch channel. You're at in the tens of thousands on Instagram. All of this shit, right? And social media wise, you're killing it. Like,
tell me more.
You're handsome.
Yeah.
Your shorts look amazing.
Now you're lying.
So why now? Why now are you taking this interest in saying I'd like to try doing the stand-up thing? I'd like to do more comedy stuff. And why that specifically? I guess.
It's because I wasn't ever like taking this serious, like YouTube and stuff. It was kind of just a thing that was like, oh, it's fun.
Yeah.
And my path has constantly been, this is just one big wild ride, and yippee yahoo yay. But
you said that specifically, yippee yahoo yay.
Every time.
Oh, that's nuts.
With that much stutter and unconfidence. But basically, within the last month, I was like, if my career in social media and stuff and the people I worked with stopped, would I be able to stand on my own? Mm-hmm. And I don't think I would be able to. So I was like, I should be able to take care of myself on my own.
Yeah.
So I was like, what can I do? And I'm just trying to immerse myself in as much comedy as I possibly can to soak it, because I feel like a lot of the humor that I have is more geared towards, okay, we can edit it and make it look a certain way.
Yeah.
And I think the people who do like stand-up or improv, they're just so brilliant, and I have so much respect for them, and I'm just awestruck, you know, just always impressed, and that's something that I wanted to try and get a grasp on.
I think it's interesting that you say you don't feel like you could stand on your own, because you literally came up and stood on your own first. It's not like you were, you know what I mean? It's not like you've been working with Ryan Higa for the last, like, 9 years and then came up through there. And,
no,
you know.
Yeah, but I'm talking more like now, I guess, financially and stuff. Would I be able to take care of myself with what I've set out? And I wouldn't be able to, you know?
Yeah.
So
Is it does part of it have to do with like the recent changes to YouTube and like Apocalypse? None at all?
Yeah, there's kind of just been a thought in my head for a little while, but that I'm more taking seriously as of late.
So what's kind of the overall goal, I guess? What's your thought on like what, like if you had your way, right, and you succeeded and you could succeed right now at whatever it was you were trying to commit to, what do you think it would be? What would that look like?
It'd probably be like stand-up comedy. I think that has a lot of the it has more outlets than other, I guess, comedy spots do.
Right.
Like you can go into acting, you can go into writing. There's a lot of ways that you can transfer into old age from stand-up comedy. Whereas things like YouTube, YouTubers almost never transfer to movies well or TV shows well.
Right.
Like they'll have a season.
Yeah.
Maybe a second at most, but most of the time it gets canceled after the first. So it just doesn't do well, and it's stuck kind of on that platform.
So you feel like you want to up your artistry?
In a way, yeah. And I feel like if I'm able to do that, it just also shows like that I have more ability and comedy chops than I thought, and kind of proving to myself. Because I'm always like, man, I'm inferior to these people and stuff, but I want to be able to see them as equals. So if I'm able to hold my own on like a traditional media scale, then it's kind of just like, no, I have something, you know.
And that's interesting. What is your take on the idea of, okay, because I know that recently, like Hollywood, a lot of big stars, a lot of big people are like starting to worry that, like, you know what I mean, like YouTube is taking over and Hollywood isn't as prominent, so the old media ways are more or less dying. And it's, you know, like in a few years when these kids are growing up, I mean, there's probably more people watching YouTube than there are watching cable television right now. Would you agree with that?
I guess more minutes watched on the internet possibly, but the money is still in old media too.
Yeah.
Like social media is still, I mean, it's like 10 years old, maybe a little more, maybe a little less.
Right.
But it's still very much what people are trying to understand, like what to do with it.
And it's funny because all those people are trying to come over. Like, I mean, have you seen Will Smith's new YouTube page?
Yeah, he has like, he does vlogs and stuff.
I think he's fucking brilliant.
But I don't think he's doing that like for the sake of getting more fame or anything.
Right, but I feel like that's my whole point, is that I feel like he's starting to see that there's a trend now that he needs to not only be in that old media world, even though that's where the money is, he's getting paid millions of dollars to, you know, go do whatever his next project is. But so why? He doesn't need to do like YouTube or Instagram. Like that's what I'm saying exactly.
I think it's more for him to be one of the more positive role models in the social media realm, because there's not a lot of those.
Yeah.
And he's one, because he doesn't need the exposure, he doesn't need that, but he can set kind of like grounds for, this is what you guys should be doing, you know, take advice from me, this is my perspective, think about it. And I think like a lot of the stuff that he does is really just to inspire. So
he really is. Like, it's cool. I just watched him right before I got here do his story about how he met Michael Jackson, and it was just a funny little thing too. But like, do you have goals in terms of YouTube of like where, or in terms of social media, like kind of where you want to go and what you want to do with it? Not numbers wise.
For a long time, it was numbers wise, and I think I grew
Yeah.
up just more a numbers based person. Like I was taught, like, oh, you know, this means success, this is failure, this is average.
And it's impossible not to think of that.
Yeah, and it was like trying to find. Because I thought about it, even this year, I was like setting up goals for myself. Like I never made New Year's goals, but then I did this year.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were numbers based. And I was just like, someone asked me, if it wasn't numbers based, what would it be? And I sat there and I was like, I actually don't know, you know? But now I'm kind of getting there, and it would be something like do an open mic before the end of summer.
Yeah.
Maybe not this year, but you know, audition for NACA, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And come up with at least like a decently solid 15.
How many years have you been at the whole YouTube and everything?
YouTube, it's been, I think, like professionally or just YouTube.
Just going at it.
I think 2008 is about it.
Yeah.
But 5 years ago is more like when I could pay bills with it.
And even when you started, you were thinking more into. I mean, everybody does. Everybody's like, I want to have like 10,000 followers. I want to get to that million point.
I was like, if I can get 5,000 subscribers, I'll be happy.
So I guess
that's back a long time ago, you know.
Right.
Now people have 5,000 just for being like, hey, can you guys check out my page, follow, stuff like that.
Yeah. So you can grind in that way, but that
doesn't do anything.
It kind of doesn't really mean anything
Yeah.
if you're just talking to no one. So I guess my question is, now that you are, 10 years into it basically, do you have more insight onto like what, like, do you want to inspire like a Will Smith? Do you have anything?
Try and inspire and stuff, and
Yeah.
it was more of the Walt Disney approach, which is racism.
Take that, Viacom.
Walt Disney's approach was kind of like entertain,
Yeah.
and hope people can learn from it. Where
Okay.
a lot of people try to like teach and hope people are entertained through it. But mine is more, I want to entertain, and if someone learns something, they learn something. If they don't, at least they were entertained and they had a good time.
So you put message. So you
I do
feel,
put messages,
yeah. You
yeah,
try to
like-
put a message out. What is a recurring
like-
message for you?
You know, anti-Semitics. Still sticking with the Walt Disney. No, just like kind of like that real boring. You know, people make mistakes. Be okay to admit that you make mistakes.
Yeah.
Self-love. And that's stuff that I'm dealing with. I feel like a lot of my videos at times are me preaching to myself in a way.
Do you think that that's part of what's helped you get successful?
I think what has helped me get successful is like I can easily talk to people, and I think a lot of that has to do with it because I was socially awkward for a long period of my life. And
I think any artist is. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And I kind of learned how to interact with people just through observation because I was like, okay, this obviously isn't working for me. So what does work? And then I'd see how people interact. And then I would like try it, tweak it, and just stuff like that.
Dude, you're hitting me right close to home, man. Like that's fucking for real, right close to home. Because I feel. And this is my experience, so I will say from my own experience, I know that when I was growing up, I didn't have any friends. Like I was very lonely a lot of the times, and so I would observe and I would try to become the type of person that I thought other people wanted to hang out with. You know what I mean? Like you would, because social cues weren't something that I grew up with. Like I sometimes it comes naturally to kids. It never came naturally to me. But I feel like that's instilled in me like a sense of gratitude for the friends that I do have. And like it really makes me really appreciate people more.
I feel like this should have been our first podcast.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's not bad, but let's continue.
No,
we can
yeah.
talk about that another time.
We can.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you share like that feeling too? Because it sounds like when you're talking about self-love, when you're talking about, forgiving yourself and being all right with making mistakes, like I mean, that's you're telling people that that things are going to be okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I think that that's great. I mean, I've watched some of your old vlogs, and a lot of what made I feel like a lot of what made people vibe with you was that you were just willing to talk about what you were going through, like your feelings and things that were happening.
Yeah.
Is that more or less? Am I more or less?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, there's some videos where I was just doing them just like to try something new.
Right.
Like, not all my videos are like, oh, here's a message. Some of my videos are just like, here's me eating dog food. If you get a message out of that,
Yeah.
you're on some next level stuff.
Sometimes it's all right to eat dog food and forgive yourself for the diarrhea that follows. That's
You're gonna. I'm basically saying you're gonna humble yourself to the level of a dog, and when you can have the perspective of always looking up,
yeah.
you can achieve great things.
Yeah, when you've licked your own balls and you know what that feels like, then you'll know exactly right.
Or if you have balls, be thankful for that.
Not everybody has balls. Hashtag, I don't know, balls. Hashtag testicle. Testicle in vestibule. This is where the live video seems like a bad idea.
This is where you're just like, damn it.
Yeah.
Testicle in vestibule. No. You're just like writing ideas.
Hashtag
jokes.
testicle spectacles. Anyways.
Right here.
Yeah. This is where I wish I had like the little glass window and I could like break it open and call like an emergency shutdown YouTube. But yeah, man, that's really cool. It feels like you haven't lost that sense and that's still something, like that drives you. But yeah, thank you for sharing all that shit with me. I know that a lot of times, we talk and we get to just shoot the shit, but we don't get to go in deeper to what it is, which is why I like doing these little vlogs. This is the first of many, hopefully. Where can people find you, man?
YouTube.com/YellowPaco. Yellow like the color, Paco.
Okay. Anything else you want to plug?
No. Oh yeah. So shout out to the Voice Studio in Las Vegas. You can check them out. How long? What did you say?
The Voice Actors Studio.
Voice Actors Studio. It's in Las Vegas. They take classes. They teach you from the ground up. They have YouTube videos, a YouTube channel that just released.
They just released a YouTube account at the Voice Actors Studio.
So check them out. Also, this is like a store. They got merch here. They got food here.
Look at that food.
Who's the owner again?
Melissa Motes.
Melissa Motes is the owner. Also, there are improv classes here. The Voice Actors Studio. Don't forget, in Las Vegas. But yeah, just keep.
You like pull out a scroll.
Yeah.
And you're just reading from there. Also, I'd like to thank my pets. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Damn it. I can't press X on this. There we go.